So the picture till now is that this is the atomic structure of the silicon atom: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p2. Now I have plotted the energy level. This is the lowest energy level and this is the highest energy level, and I have plotted this. This is the lowest energy level, this is highest energy level, and this is the atomic separation. This is the lowest atomic separation towards this, and this is the highest atomic separation towards this, increasing atomic separation. Now I have plotted first the single silicon atom system, where I am plotting for the simplicity purpose this 1s2 state for a single level. But if you look into the deep, according to the Pauli's exclusion principle, there should be two discrete level where two discrete electron can available. That means Pauli's exclusion principle is that no two electrons can have the same energy. So for the single atom system, we are just ignoring the statement. We are considering this is 1s state, this is 2s state, 2p state, 3s state and 3p state. This is for the single atom system, and right side we have write if the atom is the n atom system, then instead of 2 it is multiplied by n, and instead of 6 here it is multiplied by n. And for the single atom system, only the 3p state, out of the 6 state only 2 states are filled up. Okay, now the basic foundation I have said that if we first we are considering the infinite distance between the two silicon atoms, and our approach is to reduce the interatomic distance of the silicon atom so that the the electrons of the outermost shell can interact with each other and form a band. This is the foundation for the band theory. Okay, so if we decrease the interatomic distance in that direction, then first this state, okay, these 3 state, n equal to 3 state of the different atom will try to interact with each other. Then this 2p state, if we reduce further the interatomic distance, then the 2p state of different atoms will try to interact with each other, and if we reduce further the interatomic distance, then only this 1s state of different atoms will try to interact with each other. Okay, so first we have assuming the interatomic distance at that level, so that only this level of electrons, that means 3s state, can interact, of different atom will interact with each other. Now here we are considering the Pauli's exclusion principle. That means for the n atom system there must be, this is the 3s state, okay, and this is the 3p state. So this is for the single atom system. Now if we are considering the n atom system, this 3s state should be split up into n energy level, okay, to maintain the Pauli's exclusion principle. And same thing happens for the 3p state. For the n atom system, this 3p state will split up into n energy level so that it can maintain the Pauli's exclusion principle. So if we reduce the interatomic distance, then this energy level will split up like this. Okay, this is the case. Okay, so here from the different discrete energy level. Now for the singles, for the silicon crystal, the n value of n is 5 into 10 to the power 22. Okay, number of atoms per centimeter cube area. So if you can realize, then this n is, this number of discrete level is very much large, so that you can consider is as a continuous level of energy. You cannot distinguish the different energy level, distance between the energy level of the different atoms. So you may consider is that continuous. Okay, now same thing happens here. This 3p state will try to split up like this way, but at this interatomic distance, this 2p and 2s state try not to split up because they are shielded by other electrons. And the calculation actually shows that if we this is the picture up to this interatomic distance, this is the interatomic distance. Okay, so this is the splitting of energy level of 3s state and splitting of energy level of the 3p state. Okay, now calculation further indicates that if we reduce the distance further from that level, the calculation actually shows that the diagram something look like this. Okay, the diagram actually look like something this. Okay, this 3s state and 3p state, if we reduce the interatomic distance from that level, reduce the interatomic distance again from that level, then this 3s and the 3p state of different atoms going to merge with each other and form a diagram like this. Okay, and at this level this 2s state and 2p state just split up like this, and at this level this 1s state does not split up because it requires the interatomic distance reduction further. Okay, so we are only concerned with this 3s and 3p state. So what happens at this level of the interatomic distance, this 3p state of different level different atom and this 3p state of different atoms is going to merge, because you cannot distinguish between the different atoms, because I have already said that the number of silicon atoms within a single silicon crystal is this. So you can see that this number n is very much high. So if we consider this 2n and 6n, 8 into n, this number is very much high. Okay, within a very small energy level. So though there is the existence of different discrete energy level like that, and but you cannot distinguish the difference between the two energy level because of the vast number of n. Okay, so you can consider that this is a band of energy level or continuous band of energy level, where the number of energy level, total number of energy level here is, this is 6n plus 2n, there is a total 8n number of energy levels are available, and you can already see that for the case of the silicon atom, the outermost shell contains 4 electrons. Okay, so for the n atom system it is 4n electrons. So out of the 8n states available, only 4n states are filled up, and from the tenet, from the this tenet you can see that electrons occupy the lowest energy states possible. So this is the higher energy state and this is the lowest energy states. I have already said that the energy is increasing in that fashion. So out of the 8 energy state, only 4n energy states are available, and out of the that energy state must occupy the lowest energy states. Out of the 8n, the lowest 4n energy states are occupied. Okay, and rest of the 4n highest energy states will be remained vacant. So that is the just beginning of the formation of the energy band diagram. So you can distinguish that this is your valence band, all are filled up, and this is your conduction band. You can assume like that. Okay, so all this is filled up and all these are vacant. If we give some amount of excitation of these electrons, then these electrons can gain some amount of energy and goes into that level. Okay, so the picture, I am again repeating the whole picture as a summary. This is the picture for the isolated silicon atoms. This is 1s state, this is 2s, this is 2p, this is 3s, this is 3p, and only the picture different for the 3p state. Here only 6 states are available, but out of the 6 states only 2 states are filled up, rest of the 4 states are vacant. Okay, now for the n atom system, and the value of the n is important here. 5 into 10 to the power 22 per centimeter cube. For the n atom system, this 6 goes into multiplied by n. So there is, for the one state, if you consider a crystal of a single silicon crystal, for the n atom system, the one state considers 2n number of energy level, and out of the 2n number of energy level, all of the 2n states are filled up. Okay. Now if we go on decreasing the distance between the different silicon atoms, what happens is that this 3s state and 3p states energy level is going to merge with each other. You cannot distinguish what is 3s state energy, what is 3p state energy of an atom system. The whole 8n number of energy states is going to merge up like a continuous band. And for the first tenets, subtenets of the first is that the electrons try to occupy the lowest energy states possible. So from that tenet, you can say that out of the 8n energy states, the lowest 4n states will be filled up, and that is the formation of your valence band. And highest 4n energy level state are vacant, so that you can consider as conduction band. So that is the band picture, or a very simplified band picture of a silicon atom system or the silicon crystal, and that is only based upon the distribution of electrons of a silicon crystal and energy level of that corresponding energy level of that electrons. And we first consider a single silicon atom, and we then consider the n atom system, and we goes on decreasing the interatomic distance of the different silicon atom and form a crystal and form the band picture of that crystal. So up to now we are clear with the fact that if we reduce the interatomic distance within a crystal of different silicon atoms, then we are having this type of diagram. Now in this diagram, at this particular interatomic distance, this is the particular interatomic distance, or the equilibrium interatomic distance. At this level, you can see the band are actually separated. The outermost cell electrons energy level are merged and then separated by exactly, this is your 4n electron states, out of which 4n are occupied. Here 4n number of energy state, out of which none of are occupied. So this is the lowest energy states. That's why electrons try to, at the equilibrium, electrons try to occupy the lowest energy states out of this 8n energy states. Now from this band diagram, we can actually relate our so-called band diagram is like this. All of you know that this is your conduction band, this is our valence band, and this is our band gap. Here there is a number of energy levels available, where electrons, this is the valence band. Okay, so this is your 4n electrons, 4n states available, 4n electrons are occupied. Here 4n states are there and none of the electrons are occupied. Now if we given any excitation, that means in the form of the temperature, then electrons can goes from this level to that level. Now in the equilibrium state, within the absence of any temperature or at the 0 Kelvin temperature, all of the electrons resides lowest energy states possible. So that is your valence band. Okay, and this is your conduction band. Now between them there is an energy gap, this is called band gap energy. So electron, upon getting that amount of energy, this band gap differs for different crystal, that means silicon, germanium, carbon, the different material, this band gap energy is actually differs, it is not fixed. Okay, so if we can provide the proper excitation, then electron can overcome this band gap energy and reach here the conduction band. So now you can relate this with the help of this diagram. So this is your, suppose this is your band gap energy, okay, and this is your conduction band, this is your actual picture, this is your valence band, and within that no energy states are available. We have drawn here for the simplicity purpose, but for the actual purpose, within the band gap there is no energy states available, because so in actually within that band gap there is no energy states, so no electrons can reside at that between the band gap. So from the this picture, this is your conduction band, this is your valence band, and within that this is your band gap. So you can relate, and this is your energy in the y-axis, this is your energy. It is always represented in the book, this is your energy, and this is actually omitted. This is interatomic distance of the between the atoms, where we have omitted this distance here because this is the particular distance, interatomic distance, where the equilibrium is achieved, and we are getting this type of diagram. Okay, now this diagram is quite important. This diagram, this is the simplified diagram. This is conduction band, this is valence band, and this is band gap. This is the building block of the understanding of why the conductor behaves as a good electricity, and insulator don't conduct any electricity, and semiconductor upon getting the excitation conduct some amount of electricity. So this is the first step of the band diagram. Okay, so next, with the help of the in the next lecture onwards, with the help of this band diagram, we are going to describe the different events.